All right, welcome back. Welcome into the BFR podcast presented by Sports Mockery and Fanatics. My name is Dave. I'm joined by my good friend, co-host Vicky. We are going to be reacting to Hard Knocks episode 3. Some are calling it the best episode of Hard Knocks ever. We're going to get into all that, of course, but seriously, really good episode. This is going to be fun to unpack. Before we get into it, though, if you're new here, if you're just now joining the stream. We cover the Bears 2 times a week, especially during this regular season. Typically, it'd be pregame, postgame. But right now, of course, we are in Hard Knocks season. So we're doing these live instant reaction to each episode that airs. So HBO is on time, and so are we for the most part. But Vicky, overall thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, whoever some people are, they're fucking right, because that was fantastic. Awesome. I mean, that was such a wonderful episode, and it's kind of funny because I was thinking about the star players that they showed, like DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and I'm like just going through the players, Jalen Johnson, and it was like, you know what, really, there was not much time on them, but what we actually got, what we've been asking for, is like the storylines of these players. Right? You get the storyline of Tory Taylor. You get the storyline of Tyson Bagent. You know what I mean? And then you sprinkle in the little things with Jalen Johnson going crazy in Bengals joint practice, Keenan Allen balling out in training camp. So I think they did it magnificently. Also, they put a focus on the main man, the superstar himself, Caleb Williams. And so I think that was just the icing on the cake. So it was great.
Let me unmute myself here. I thought it was, I tweeted right after the episode that this was the best episode of the series. I know there's only 3 and we have 5. Is that right?
I think it's at least 6? 5. It's either 5 or 6.
Okay. I'm hoping 6. That would be really cool. But this episode from top to bottom, from the very start, which you always love the intro, but it was phenomenal. It gave us everything I feel like we've been kind of wanting. And I think the Bears gave up a little bit more than they probably wanted to as well. Some of those conversations that we were actually privy to, I don't believe, some of it probably didn't really probably want aired. I like the, we'll get into our favorite, our best moments of this episode were. But I want to go ahead and start with just Caleb Williams and how they depicted him on the episode. I thought this was pretty interesting. One of my favorite things about this episode, Vicky, which I'm sure you were going to bring up, was something that actually never leaked. At least I'm not aware of, from the reporters, from Caleb. And if you're wondering what I'm going to speak on, and a spoiler alert again, if you have not seen the episode, stop, pause it, come back later. This is your only warning. But there was helmet issues. They were not able to hear. So Shane Waldron and Caleb were out of sync for almost that entire first quarter. At least that's how they kind of made it. That's how it looked from us, from the viewer, that there were struggles all the way up until that final drive. They switched helmets even, right? Which is a big deal, especially for a rookie quarterback at home. All that noise. I know it's supposed to be quieter, but I mean, it was electric there. And you saw Caleb struggling like, what? Huh? And then he's over here, being a good sport, but he's saying, I'm good. But you could see clearly maybe why those reads initially were rushed, right? Because he's like, I think I'm calling this. I think this is what we're doing. And just the confidence probably wasn't there through those first 3 drives. And then we saw in the final drive where he just turned it on. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to everyone else to kind of interpret, because I kind of have my opinion. But how do you feel about it? Is that a good excuse? Is this valid, Vicky? Or is this more of storytelling?
So it's a mix, right? There's definitely storytelling in it, but there's truth within the storytelling. Now, is it the main reason why things went wrong? Like, having a bad communication doesn't make you overthrow Keenan Allen on that first rollout out. You know what I mean? Like, that's on Caleb. But did it equate to losing 1 or 2 plays? Possibly. And we know in football, 1 or 2 plays could literally be extending the drive to then getting 3 points or 7, or going 3 and out and punting the ball. So I'm sure it had some factor. How big of a factor, we'll probably never know, but I'm actually glad that they did that. From the national media, they probably won't. No one really cares about that. But from the Bears fans who watched that game, watched every play, it does add that layer of context that we didn't have, which is like, oh, okay, the offense looked disgruntled, and it's because, well, to start the plays, it wasn't in a good place. So, I'm not going to go out there and say it's the main reason, but if that happens in an NFL game and, there's a drive that cut short, I would be like, yeah, that probably had some sort of impact on that drive. And hopefully that doesn't happen in the NFL, and also not in the NFL, but hopefully it doesn't happen in the regular season. And if it does, my biggest surprise was like, why are we waiting to the third drive? Like, Caleb, get to the sideline. Waldron, talk to whoever it is, right? The assistant of the assistant, whoever it is, needs to get Caleb a new helmet so that he can, hear his coordinator. And that's not the first time that's happened. Obviously, technology goes out. I mean, that's just tech. You can't predict everything, but I know there's been cases in the NFL before, and I thought they were a little bit quicker. But again, that might be storytelling. We don't know how many drives that was, so I don't know. But overall, it definitely did have some sort of impact on his play.
I think you make a good, before we get to this super fic, I think you make a great point with Caleb and Shane. And I think this is a really good learning experience, because this is not going to be the only time here that they're going to have probably issues, communication issues when it comes to technology, helmets. So to kind of get to go through this, rep it, figure out a solution, it has to be quicker. You want it to be quicker because you said, what, 3 drives it took to get a new helmet?
Come on, bro.
No. If we're having issues, get that shit out. Get that shit figured out quicker.
Quick.
I understand that, but I think this is a really good learning moment for everybody, not just the players, but staff and everything along those lines. I understand it's preseason, but you got to get it there a little bit quicker, because if in the regular season you can go down 21 real quick.
You can't have that. No, but I think that's a great point. Like, we talk about it. You want your worst. You want to get the mistakes out in preseason, just like practice. It's meant for you to iron out the creases, right? So I'm glad it happened early, so then they could go through that experience. So then if something like that does happen, it will be quick. They know who to contact. Caleb knows who to talk to on the sideline. A coach then knows who to go to, on the sideline, things like that. So, hopefully it doesn't happen at all, but if it does, I think they'll at least be equipped to handle it in a better fashion. Okay, so Jack did put on here Gustavo Gutierrez, I wouldn't want to say, on YouTube with the $5 super chat, said, I will sacrifice myself so y'all can enjoy Caleb Williams' 10 Super Bowls. First off, appreciate the $5 super chat. And just for context, on the show, Caleb Williams is being interviewed by Big Cat on PMT, right?
Which drops tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right? So everybody check that out. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. Big Cat asked Caleb, would you sacrifice a Bears fan?
No, PFT asked.
Oh, PFT did. My bad. You're right.
Yeah.
PFT
in a very funny way how he delivered it.
That does sound like a PFT question too.
Because then Big Cat was like, sacrifice me. He's got 2 kids. He's over.
Facts. He said, look, do it. No, it was funny though. But he said, he asked if you would sacrifice one Bears fan for 10 Super Bowls. Obviously, Caleb's not answering that question because there's no right question, right? Because either it's, oh, you don't want your team to win, or it's, oh, you murder. So that's obviously not the case. But it is a funny question. So I just went ahead and asked Twitter just to see, like, hey, ask the same question. What
were the responses, Vic?
Bro, there were so many people that said they would sacrifice themselves. And
that's crazy.
And then a lot of people would tag other people and say, sorry, bro. And
I saw some of them tagging you, if I'm not mistaken.
One of them did.
Sorry, bro. You got to go.
One of them said, one of them, the best, I think it was the best gift was the Simba, throwing Simba off Pride Rock. And
I've seen that one. That's what I'm
sorry, Vic, you got to go. So I thought that was hilarious. Bearski film with the question, LOL, you like my response?
I think he's the one that said it.
Oh, did he? Okay. I can't remember if I saw yours, but if it's something like that, that's hilarious. Me, I mean, I don't want to sacrifice myself, but if it's for the, if it could bring joy to millions of people, you know what, you got to do what you got to do.
that would just throw a wrench in my plans. It looks like Jack would be taking over a new title here as producer and co-host.
I did see a funny one though. Someone said, this is like a good one. If you're going to sacrifice me, you have to name the stadium after me and you have to put a statue. And I was like, you know what? Leave a legacy. You know what I mean? Don't just kill me in my sleep and I'm gone. And then next, the Bears go on a run. I need you to know the sacrifice and the effort that I put down. But anyway, funny question.
Great question. But yeah, shout out to Gustavo again for the $4.99 super chat. We appreciate it. Again, if you see DJ here in the bottom right hand of your screen, go ahead and hit that like button. Does help. Easy way, free way to help support the pod, help the show grow on the YouTube algorithm. We appreciate it. So thank you for that. Now I want to get to another receiver. You know what I'm talking about? Who had a very good episode. And he probably needed this for, I guess.
Fat allegations?
I don't even know. I'm not even going to say it because I don't know. I see people tweeting about it. I'm like, I have not heard any of this. But anyways, Keenan Allen, there was a comment here, tore up Cincy on that joint practice. And I know we heard about it, but there was some clips here and just the, I loved that for Keenan and not his image. Because, I mean, dude's a freaking, you could almost say borderline Hall of Famer.
Oh, let's be honest. He's going to have a gold jacket for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But that was really cool to see in the rain. Just overall, just such a good episode. But what were your thoughts, real quick? We'll get to our best to worst here. But Keenan Allen.
Yeah. So I can't remember the exact tweet that started it all, but it was from like one of those aggregate accounts, you know, like NFL rumors or something like that. Where it's like muted. They just be, yeah, exactly. They'd be spewing just all the most random shit, no sources, nothing backed by like truth. Anyways, I think that's what tweeted it. And it said like Keenan Allen is 30 pounds over what his weight was last year. That hasn't been confirmed anywhere. I don't know if it is, but you know, the internet, people take things and run with it. So the past, week and a half, there's been like Keenan Allen's fat, these fat allegations. I had non-Bears fans send me because it hit like IG, sending me stuff on IG like, oh, Keenan's not performing. I'm like, bro, this is the preseason. Keenan's not even getting tons of snaps, so you're not going to hear about him. And we've heard that he's been one of the main targets throughout all of training camp. So, like, I don't know. It's just crazy how quick like a rumor can go and then just spread. But yes, it was good to see that Keenan, like, it shut some people up that, you know, national media that, well, I shouldn't say shut up because they wouldn't know, but like people who had gotten this false information now can be like, oh,
it's
maybe
not even
the information
false information either. Because like, I don't even understand it. He's had a good camp. He's Keenan freaking Allen, dude. You saw it. He's not a burner, but you saw the technician he was just in this small, I would say 30-second clip montage of him just cutting and eating against the Bengals in that joint practice. That was really cool to see.
Eating might not be the right word to use there, but
no, I did that on purpose here. No, you're right. Probably not. But seriously, it's just it's ridiculous. So I want to get to our best of the show. We'll start with the best here. So give me your best moment, best part of the episode.
Best part. You know what? I think it's got to be the contract extension guardrails that Ryan Poles talked about. So for context, they gave us something which he hadn't got yet, and we were asking for some of the like behind the scenes GM work, right? And it talked about the Matthew Judon trade that Poles was trying to work. And so basically he talked about the 3rd round pick, but how it didn't work out because he didn't want to give up too much. He didn't want to put the team in a bind after that player got here. So in essence, he's like, I'll give you a 3rd, but basically he was like, look, these are my limits. These are my guardrails for the contract extension. This is what we're looking at. We're not going to give you more than that. Obviously that didn't sit well with Judon. Judon was like, hey, look, that's not what I'm looking for. So he went and chose Atlanta. I'm fine with that. The biggest thing that I've enjoyed about Ryan Poles, and I went on a rant about it on our last episode, so I'm going to do it again, is that Ryan Poles has allowed this team to be super flexible, right? Whether that's draft picks, cap space, he's been able to be flexible so that he can keep improving the team. And he's been able to improve the team because he's been flexible. He's been lucky with some trades, like obviously the DJ Moore #1 pick, that's getting Caleb Williams and all that we got in return. That is a good start, but he has not, even through free agency, he sets numbers. He doesn't go over it. You hear it all the time. That's what I like in him. It's not that he's going to do what is the sexy pick, right? He's not going to make the move that makes all the Bears fans happy, right? That's what Ryan Pace used to do. Big fish hunting. Khalil Mack, I love it. But then you give him a big deal and you don't have your quarterback situation fixed, right? So because of that, you're now pigeonholed 3 years later when the quarterback doesn't work out. And then now someone has to come in and waste a whole year trying to rebuild. And you see the same thing with what happened in Los Angeles with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Joey Bosa, and Khalil Mack again, who we traded to. The GMs go big fish hunting, pay too much, and then when the team doesn't succeed, they're in a bind, and then the coach gets fired. New guy comes in and goes, look, I'm in cap hell. We got to restart. And then another team comes and snags some of your players, right? Like Keenan Allen for a fourth rounder, which is cheap. So to say all that, I love that Ryan Poles keeps the team's future in mind while also thinking about the present and how he can currently build this team. But he's not overselling his hand, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, well said. I think with the Chargers, I mean, that's the thing. They had Justin Herbert on a rookie contract when they traded for Khalil Mack. Now I think he was in year 3. They obviously paid him $262 million. So now he is obviously making a lot more than he did. And that constrains the cap. And that's how you get Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, these guys, to leave town because you can't pay everyone. That's why you take advantage of this rookie deal. Similar to what Seattle did. Russell Wilson, got the 2 Super Bowls, should have won 2. But at the end of the day, it was really cool to see that insight. And I don't know, I can't remember his name, but the other staff member that was talking to Poles that said, hey,
personnel.
That say, hey, we missed out on Matthew Judon, and I'm paraphrasing here, but basically it was, Matthew for a third and that contract that comes with it. And we don't even know what that price tag is yet. I don't even think it's been released in regards to who traded from Atlanta? Yeah.
Atlanta. They haven't even signed him yet. So we don't even know what it's going to be.
There is a price tag there.
For sure.
And I love how he said, or it's for Austin Booker, right? And so that Austin Booker for 4 years, and then it's a 4th round pick. And I just thought overall, all of that, like you said, Ficky, and that I can't remember his name. Did they show his name?
They did.
I don't think they did.
No, they did. I can't remember.
Shout out to him because that was a really cool moment because it kind of showed me that Ryan Poles is not just leading, like he's affecting. Obviously, he picks his staff, right? I get that. But it's like they are bought in. And I know they probably need to be, but they're over there reminding him, hey, this is our process, man. This is what you built. Like, I know it sucks right now. And, he even said, if this guy gets 20 sacks, it's going to be terrible. It's not going to feel great. But yes, I like to see the buy-in from not just Ryan Poles, Ian Cunningham, but just everybody from top to bottom has the same values. They have the same goal. They understand it. They have parameters that they're sticking to. When it comes to just, overall costs with contracts, giving up picks. Jack over here said Matt Feinstein.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah, that's a hell of a.
But yeah, that's but I was gonna say we saw that with Ian Cunningham. Remember in the draft?
Yep.
Poles is like, yo, I want to get Roman. I don't blame him, man. I mean, shit, we all wanted him. But Ian Cunningham's like, no, Remember our process. We don't need to trade. He's probably going to fall. And that's what happened. So, I mean, Ryan Poles has talked, he's talked great things about his staff and has talked about how they're not afraid to like keep him in check and not keep him in check as in like, oh my gosh, he's off the wall. He's going crazy. But like, you have those reminders like, hey, look, this is the plan. Because we're human. Emotions come in. There's a lot of risk involved, a lot of what ifs with being a GM and running these NFL teams. So it's good that you have people, bought in, having your back, reminding you of the process that you set up, you know what I mean? The goals and things like that. Because we always need that accountability partner. And it seems like Ryan Poles has that with multiple people on his staff. And to be honest, the results so far show that. I know we still have a season to play. We got to see how this team plays. But from a roster building standpoint, right? Free agency, draft, the front office has shown that they are capable and smart and very decisive with their moves. And so I really appreciate that.
Yeah. And it looks like Matt Feinstein is the director of football administration. So obviously plays a pivotal role within the franchise, but really cool to see him have that interaction with Poles, like you said, Vicky. And that's a good one. That is probably that's what we wanted. That's what we've been asking for, to see, to get these type of details and behind the scenes. And of course, to see that happen in Ryan Poles' office. And it would have been cool, if they actually could have got him and stuck to their contract, whatever they are offering.
32 though, like it would have been, don't get me wrong, it would have been nice, but 32 and 8, that's my only concern is the old age and
32
big contracts.
Yeah, it's not a big contract though. If they could have got him for they weren't going to hand out a big contract.
No. If it would have been polls,
that's what I'm saying.
Parameters for sure. 100%.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if they would have got him for what they were asking, within those guidelines, that would have been really cool also to see on Hard Knocks, to see them land a fish, like that. So overall, for my best part of the episode, I'm not going to go with probably the easy one, which is, the Caleb moment. That's just too easy. I'm going to go with, it's really hard because there were so many great moments. I'm going to go with Tory Taylor all around. I thought he was such a cool highlight. They didn't just do it once. It was multiple times.
He was the star of the show, in my opinion.
Sheesh, man. Like that might be, he might be the star because he's seriously, for a punter, he was on camera a lot. Just from hearing his back story to him, the crocodile punter, we heard about that before from the media and from his press conference that he did not like that. And he did not want any type of Australian,
no.
He wants none of that when it comes to his nickname. I appreciate that. But this guy's been here he's been in the US for 4+ years. He was at Iowa, and Santos giving him a hard time, hey, do you know what side of the road we drive on, and everything like that. So that was cool. And then of course seeing him trying to navigate to the stadium, which Chicago can be like that, especially on game day. He's probably just trying to figure it all out. So, and it's a long way from Iowa. So
for sure.
Tory Taylor, just obviously you watched the film, you saw his punts, even seeing some of these extra clips from practice where he's pinning it in the 2-yard line, right? And you got Caleb Williams, you got the whole crew, whole offense, defense. It doesn't really matter. Just like rooting for this guy, getting hyped up because they realize how much of a weapon he truly is. And what he can do is going to be able to really help the defense. Put them, Matt Eberflus said it perfectly, is just to make teams uncomfortable. And he is going to do that a lot.
Bro, his punts are crazy.
Maybe because Caleb,
he did joke about it. That was another funny.
That's what I'm saying. Like the whole, he may be the star because that was a really fun moment. I'll talk about, because I think what you're alluding to was during the first quarter. It was nearing the last couple minutes or a couple seconds. It was going to the second quarter. You got Caleb and Tory on the bench, and that interaction was hilarious because he was like, "Hey, I thought I wasn't gonna punt. It's quite a bit in the first quarter." And then Caleb goes, "No, we're talking about the regular season." And I think a couple other teammates chimed in saying, "Trying to get you reps, trying to get you practice." So
funny.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably why I go with just the where they kind of zeroed in on Tory Taylor is probably my favorite part.
Yeah, we love it when they zone in on the rookies, right? That's what we got. We got Booker, we got Tory, we got a little bit of Rome. And we got Caleb, right? So, like, you got a little bit of everybody in here. And then also just seeing Tory just boom the fucking ball. When they showed one of the punts that when I went to training camp, they showed one of those where he literally, like, made it bounce out at the 2. When I was there was, like, 3 punts that were literally within the 5-yard line. And it's just ridiculous to see. And they just showed so many more clips over and over and over and over. And then we saw it live in game. So it's like we're consistently seeing the same thing that we saw from this guy in college. And that's what's really promising. Because sometimes you'll see consistency in college. Some of these guys get to the NFL and it's just things change. I don't know what it is, but it's just like a different beast. And sometimes they cannot continue that same level of success. That has not been the case so far, and I just hope we see that more and more, and he's going to become a fan favorite. Hopefully he never touches the field during the regular season, but realistically he's going to be out there, and at least we have the right guy out there instead of the punter that we had last year.
Yeah, so we definitely have the right guy because I also like just little details when it came to his. He had a really strong quote talking about he doesn't want people to know who he is. That's how he knows he's doing a good job because you don't really want to talk about the punter, similar to like offensive linemen. If you're hearing their name, it's typically not great.
Right.
But in this case with Tory Taylor, and it is great because he is just so electric and he's so good at his job. And the Scotty Scheffler, golf comparisons, I think reign true. I think that's very, very easy one to see. And I just love his attitude. I love the highlight for this episode. Again, it just shows you how good it was for episode 3 because there were just so many other great moments too. Great little nuggets that I really, really enjoyed. And another one I want to bring up, Jack, can you bring up that last comment? I think it was about Flus's family or his daughters. I will say this. I want to ask you, Ficky, are they being fed lines? Or do they really, truly know? Because I'm like, that's what I would say. Like, they are legit. They're on their set.
Episode 2 seemed a little iffy, but honestly, it felt believable. It felt like they actually knew what they're talking about. And to be fair, when your dad is a football coach or like your parents, right? And they are top of their profession, they bring stuff home. And you're forced, also for them, they're forced to watch games. I'm sure they enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but they are forced to watch games. Your dad is not just an NFL head coach, right? Which is the top of top. And you're not at least a couple games a year or watching them at home, right? Because you're supporting your family. So I bet you that over time, and to be fair, Flus has been coaching for decades. So there's absolutely no way. There's no way they don't have a very good grasp and understanding of the game, right? And it shouldn't necessarily be surprising. I get it, though, because, you know, like sometimes it's like women, you think they don't. But it's like, no, they really do.
Well, it's not even that. It's not like that they know the game. They're locked in. Their takes are fire. Like, their takes are really, really good. And like, would probably be, if they were on Bears Twitter, they'd be up there. They'd be up there with some of their nuance. They're not, they're very calm. They're intellectual. Like, it's smart. And Flus has done a good job, but it's cool to see those little, cause they cut to them a couple times during the Bengals game. And I was like, it was just like, it was really, enlightening to see. And I think that, like you said, that's the second time now where I think they had the Bills and now you got the Bengals. I think a lot of people could probably learn something, honestly.
We're getting it. There's a shift though in the NFL. We're seeing a lot more of it. The diversity of the fan base. I know it's been diverse, but we're getting more and more. It's not the 1920s anymore where it used to be plumbers and firefighters. Oh man, you know what I mean? So I do love that. And you're starting to see that more and more, especially now with the NFL pumping money into like flag football and things like that. So I think it's great. I love that they showcase that. Not that it was forced or anything, but like, I think it breaks the stereotypes of like, this is a man only, masculine, you know, type of thing. So I love it. Football's for everybody.
That too.
True. Honestly. That did help. So, that did help. That brought in a lot of people too. So it sure did. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. That brought in a shit ton of eyes. That had never watched.
Probably more Taylor Swift effect probably brought in more in the last year than like the last probably 10. I'm being honest here. She has that type of pull. But so any other best moments before we kind of move on to our worst?
I will say overall, they touched on so many different things. Like Warren, you got the Warren aspect, and it was short, but like you got a little bit of that. You got the GM perspective. You got a little bit of that. Yeah. You got the draft room. You got a little bit of that. You got game day. You got the joint practice. I think that's what makes it so great is like they touched on almost every little things that you could touch on. And it just makes it a little better than just like, oh, here's a montage of practice. Oh, here's a montage of the game, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'd say maybe we were a little harsh in the first two episodes. Maybe our grading was a little harsh.
We gave
because maybe there wasn't enough.
We gave it above a 7.
I have the grades here.
Yeah.
Maybe we're too nice.
Shitty scores.
Another fun moment was Tyson Bagent. Really, his dad is just wow. That man. He can pump up a wall. Like he is just. Some of those,
I thought he was going to throw some people through a wall. To be honest,
somebody,
bro. I'm like, yo. No, I'm glad he's pumped up for his son. I love it. Like I'm never going to be mad at dad's support. But when he said, relax.
He looked at the camera or he looked at the fan and he was like, you know what rule I would make? No running the ball. When he kind of throw these screams like. Yeah, that was cool to see that, and then poor Tyson over here dropping 8 bands on tickets, 81 tickets, $100 a piece. And apparently you only get 2 comp
that
tickets
makes sense.
if you're a Bears player.
Well, no, think about it. If you're looking at the squad, right, you have like 91 players or 90 plus players on the team right now. So
yeah, but is that broken up? Like Keenan Allen get a couple more comp, or
I don't know. You would think they would make it just standard across the board so you don't get like that favoritism, but I have no idea. Idea. All we know is Tyson only got 2, and that man had to pay 79.
At the same time,
otherwise.
At the same time, we're seeing these signing bonuses, right? Caleb's fine. May let him pay for his tickets.
He better pay for his ticket.
However, you look at Austin Reed, right? I'm like, his 5K signing bonus. I was like, damn, I'm just not used to that. You see the NFL, you see these numbers, right? Like, I had to like almost rewind it. I was like, 5K. That's a normal bonus. That's
what happens when you're on a fringe.
Yeah, but I really am rooting for him because I feel like he hasn't really got a shot. But I think maybe a practice squad type player. Hopefully he stays in Chicago where he can be on our practice squad. But the Bears, like, they do have some really good depth at that position, which is so weird to say. But Tyson Bagent really needed this one as well. So I think him and his dad, I think that was another good part of the moment where you get to see him really ball out because he's had a good camp, but there's also been some bad days, you know. And you say that even the Bills, right, or the opening Hall of Fame game, he got 3 passes against the Bills. Did he play in it? Yeah, he did. If I'm not mistaken, and it was all right, but he really lit it up against Cincy.
Oh, he went crazy, throwing like accurate balls, like one across the middle to Pettis on like a 3rd down where Pettis almost got his head taken off. Obviously, the anticipation throw for the touchdown, and then that bucket over the fade for a touchdown as well. All the Pettis, so they went crazy. But
where is Colin Johnson?
I think he's injured, bro, because he was not dressed in today's practice. Like today,
he
was not dressed. So
why are we not hearing anything like that?
I have no idea.
We have too many players, too many weapons.
Right. Well, guess what?
Not even getting to Colin.
Right, and
that sucks if he's injured, man. What a bad break, and that's been kind of the stories of his career a little bit. So, but we'll get to that. I guess we can say that for the worst. I guess.
I mean, it would be. Before this is my last best one though, because it'll be short. But Austin Reed doing "Love" by Keisha Cole, which if you guys don't know that song, go listen to it. Is a classic, certified R&B classic. The fact that he picked that one because it's got tons of riffs in it, right? So it's not an easy song. I'm not saying his vocals killed it, but like
his energy did
100%.
That's all you need. They're not looking for you to sound like Beyonce or anybody like this, right? What did Caleb pick? John Legend,
but he didn't even know the words.
That's right. What bothers me to this day, because you're right, Austin Reed did phenomenal. He looks like he put in the work. No offense. No, I'm a little upset with Caleb. It felt like he did not. He was like, I'm just gonna move on with this, or it didn't seem like the effort was there. Everyone else, they did. Have we seen
Cole? No, it didn't go in Hard Knocks, but literally the next day, I think Cole Kmet talked about how they forced him to do it again. Yeah, and so he did it
85, again. I think.
Yep. Yeah. So at least they didn't you're not. You can't be 25 million signing bonus and
skip out on
the. Come on, bro. The number 1 pick, and you can't handle. You know what's funny though, because he talked on Hard Knocks. Caleb was like, "Yeah, I don't get nervous, right?" Which I'll be honest, I think he may not get that nervous, but I think he don't get butterflies at all, which is just a natural human reaction. A little sus. Love the confidence though, but a little sus. But if you don't get nervous for game day, he for sure got nervous for that talent show.
I don't know.
You don't go up there and butcher every word 10 seconds in. The song
he just wasn't. I don't think he was embarrassed per se. I think he just wasn't prepared, which leads to that. I know. But I will say this, that clip where they talked, with Caleb on the sidelines, and, do you get nervous? And he kind of answered no. I actually was like, I watched that. I ran it back real quick because I wanted to watch his body language. I'm like, I really believed it. Like, he did not look nervous. And I bet maybe there are some better butterflies, I don't know, but he just seems so, like, you saw him in the locker room, and, obviously the camera's on, but he just looks so calm, very locked in. He's listening to what song? Ordinary People.
Yeah, Ordinary People with John Legend. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe his routine allows him to really just lock in, or he just doesn't have any of that.
I mean, that could be
which you need it.
I'm not saying he is nervous. I'm just saying, I'm sure at some point, maybe when he first walks on the field, something where it's like, ooh, and then he probably takes a deep breath and he's ready to rock and roll. And you actually saw that where it was after the third drive, after going 3 and out 3 times, the final drive, he walks out and he goes, just kind of lets out an exhale to be like, okay, let's lock in. I'm not saying that's nerves, but he understands that this is his last opportunity for the day. The drives previously have not gone well at all. And he has to relax himself, quit overthinking. You got this. And that was good to see, because that was another thing I put for my best is like this dude has moxie. I know beat reporters have been saying it, players have been saying it, analysts that have been going, like watch the Bears practices have been saying it. Hard Knocks, this was the first one, in my opinion, where you're really like, oh no, the dude has moxie. He's joking with the ref on the sideline, right? He's how he interacts with his teammates, after big plays, or even the play where he threw that one to Rome out of bounds, like just seeing the excitement and whatnot. Like, I don't know. And I might just be high off the Kool-Aid. I mean, I might be drunk off the Kool-Aid, maybe I'm just super biased, but it's like the energy he shows, I don't know if we've seen that much like hype energy out of our past ones.
I think Justin was very, very hyped.
He was more like
if you want to be honest,
he was more because in my opinion.
But let me bring up this real quick moment with Justin, because when Caleb ran it in and he drops the ball and he screams, there's the exact same play that Justin did in preseason as well, where he ran it in, dropped the ball, and and the same tweets. I literally looked it up because I was like, this is his city. I literally tweeted, so many other Bears fans, this is Justin's city. This is just, and I'm just like, it is. I think we do get a little
recency bias
caught up. Yeah,
for sure.
And for me, like, I'll be honest, like I'm ready for the regular season for all these guys, because even the defense, I think it looks fantastic. That was another great moment. Seeing the defense lock in against the Bengals. I just want to see it in the regular season, and I need to see it before I really buy into it, because I've done it with past seasons, right? Past quarterbacks, past teams. And I think this one, it does feel different. I think we all can say that there's a confidence, not just with the team, but I feel like we are confident. But I'm trying to bring it back a little bit, because this is preseason. This is supposed to be easy.
The difference is not just quarterback to quarterback comparison, though. The difference is the expectation of the team and the roster, right? Justin, the expectation was we love Justin. Justin's probably going to be the only reason why we're in a game, because we know the roster's dog shit, right? We know this roster is not.
We do, but yes, but
no, at least they have on paper, for sure. On paper, that the team looks much better than the previous years.
Well, yeah, I mean, just they were tearing down.
That's not always the case. No, but I'm saying that's not always the case. Teams don't always get better. I'm saying like why it's different is that why the energy may feel a little bit different is that the expectations are now higher for this team. If you look at the past two teams, right, the rosters weren't that great. There were so many holes on the team, right? And that's why we got so excited about Justin, because the only reason we would be in games is because of him. It's not a diss on him at all. I'm saying, though, I think that's why the energy is a little bit different, because you're like, oh my gosh, defense is all back. They balled out the last half of the season. You got Keenan Allen, right? You also got Rome Odunze. So it's like you look at this offense and you're like, oh, wow. On paper, they got to show it. On paper, this team looks like it should be better than what it was last year. And so I think that's why there's a little bit more of an energy.
I think, but at the end of the day, if you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a shot.
So, for sure.
So at this point, when you have a generational tag, a player of this caliber, where their expectations, like you said, Vic, are super sky high, and then you factor in everything else around him. And shout out to Poles, because I think he is also he's been masterful, in a lot of things. Obviously not perfect, but all of that, like you said, the variables, even the chemistry. Because on Hogan Johns, one of my favorite moments from the interview they did with him,
I know what you're talking
with Ryan Poles, which was really cool to see him them being inside Poles' office. But he said, "I love this team. I just love these guys." Right? That is really cool. That is really cool, because I know a GM, he's handpicking a lot of these people. And then, of course, you have a few left over from Pace. But to see where it came 3 years ago to now, it is night and day. So, super stoked, man.
I think there's another big thing from that interview was he said, one of my biggest things like coming in was like culture, and like how you build culture. Like that's what you always hear as a GM, like build culture. He was like, once I realized culture, I don't build. I do nothing. Culture is built by the people you bring in. That's when the narrative changed. So if you bring in good people that like each other, they form the culture. That's what it is. It's a collective of thought, right? And effort. And so I'm glad, because it seems like Ryan Poles and Eberflus, with the players they brought in, right? They always talk about, oh, we're bringing in people that love football. That's the basis. That's the starting point. That builds a culture for the team of hard workers, people that are going to go out there and get it and always try to improve themselves. Now, again, we say all that. They have to go out there and prove it. But at least we understand it's a good starting point. They're making the right moves to at least – the roster's been getting better and better each year, right? Hopefully this year we can really start to see the fruit of Ryan Poles' labor. So it should be exciting.
Yeah. I think I always – I understand. I think there's a good quote or comment here. Caleb does look different. His ability to pass, or to run, scramble, and keep his eyes down the field is awesome, right? It's just I need to see it against the top of the top, the best of the best. And we're about to. I mean, Tennessee's in 19 or actually 18 days now. Week 1 is 18 days away. Right super excited about that. So let's move. We'll move on to see if we can find maybe the worst part of the episode. This is such a good episode. I don't know if we're going to.
I don't even know if I have one. Yeah, that's what's wrong. Because I was thinking about, I'm like, what's the worst part? Okay, I did say I like this portion, but I wish the Kevin Warren one was like just a little bit longer.
You know what's funny?
Just a little bit.
Let me say this. That might be my worst part, but I do have my worst part. But that's a good one. I don't give a I just don't care. I don't care. Get it done. It just seems
it's not necessarily that it was.
Why are they bringing it up?
No, it's less about stadium talk. It's more about they were giving behind the scenes of Kevin. You talk about with Hard Knocks, we want behind the scenes. I want to see like Kevin Warren, though. Why not? He's the first.
I want Ryan Poles and the team personnel, because I feel like that's just more of like he's not really building the team. He's more on the
I like
the stadium.
No, but he runs the team. He's the president.
Not the football part.
No. That's not what I'm saying, though. I'm not saying I want the football. We got plenty of football stuff on that episode. I'm saying, though, if that would have been a little bit longer of the executive part, like I talked about why I liked the Hard Knocks with the Giants, because it did not only football building from the GM, but it also gave a lot of the executive level stuff. I wanted to see some of that, too. You don't get that. First of all, the Bears have never had a president, right? This is their first president. I know a lot of it's focused on the stadium, but that's not all that Kevin Warren does. I've read tons of like deep dives on Kevin Warren as day to day. So I thought that would have been cool, right? Because for Hard Knocks, what we want is behind the scenes stuff that you can't get anywhere else. So I would have personally liked to see more of what Kevin Warren is involved in, right? The stadium we already know about, so it's not like the most exciting, but I would have loved to see something else that we would have never thought of that would be like, oh shit, Kevin Warren is involved in this. That'd have been cool.
Yeah. I don't know. What's up, Jack? I think it was very short though. It was like,
it was like 30 seconds? Bro, it was like 30 seconds. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was like quick.
It felt weird. I was just like, I don't even know if we needed that. But if you're right, if they would have went 10 minutes into like, hey, 10 minutes of like, not just the stadium talk, but maybe other things. If he was involved with Poles and the Matthew Judon, maybe he wasn't though. So maybe if they would have
like why
it's just weird to throw it in there in like 30 seconds.
And like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, look, I want that, but it was like, why 30 seconds? That doesn't just save that for the next episode.
Speaking of 30 seconds though, which I don't even know why I said 30 seconds, but my worst part, very fucking easily. And I already got it out on Saturday. It was Simone Biles and that fucking sweater. That Packers sweater, dude. And it almost, you know what? I want to hear what your thoughts on this. Was it planted? Did they do this on purpose because of Hard Knocks? Because they brought it up and he even wrote it in. It just felt a little like, and I understand, Jonathan Owens is on the sweater in a Green Bay thing, but that's the worst part. They even included it. It was one thing to see it on Saturday, and then now it's on Hard Knocks. I was like, I can't. It bothers me so much. And they even asked her to take it off, or somebody's like, you better take that off, and she kept it on.
I have a hot take.
It's weird.
Is that I don't care. I don't like. No. Look. To be honest, the Packers have been better at us in every single thing. So if she wants to wear, she can wear it. I don't care. I really don't. It's a sweater supporting her husband who played for the Packers for 2 years.
Guy, dude. Yeah, but
for sure. But it's like
this is a failure on Jonathan too, and even the Bears. Like, get her some nice. Get her something cool.
I mean, but it's not he doesn't pick what his wife wears. If his wife wants to wear a jacket, it's not like John Thorne's like, you can't wear that. Like, what kind
no,
of...
but I guarantee you, if he got like what, I don't even know what to call it, just like printed of, it was a Green Bay's sweater.
It was a custom. I think it was made by
custom.
Yeah. Custom.
Just get something Bears custom.
Yeah, I think
Bears custom, because you're not only. It's the first time at home. There's no Family Fest this year. It's all Chicago. You're in Soldier Field, and she's over here walking the sidelines, repping. And she even did. And you know what's funny? She may know this. On Saturday, she did a little. They take the phone and they're like, "What's up, Chicago?"
Mm-hmm.
She hid that shit. Like, you can't even see the. She had it real low or whatever.
Told.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you can't do that. Like, I know that the Bears admin team was like, please God, do not, you can't show this. I agree. At the end of the day, it's not a fucking big deal.
I think that's why I don't care.
At the same time, it is a pretty fucking big deal.
No, it is. I get that. It's not like I want people to wear Green Bay stuff to the Bears. I just think that it wasn't like intent. Like, I don't think she was like, oh, let me go piss off Bears fans. That's why I don't care.
I think she knew.
Like, if it was like someone who knew Aaron Rodgers or something, or you were like, okay, no, you're doing this to do this, then I'd be like, okay, the intention is bad, but I don't think. I think she was like, I'm supporting my husband.
This goes to show how good an episode this was, because that was my worst part, and it was like, and that's all seconds. That's really all I could find outside maybe the ending of it. Jack, real quick, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so I wanted to chime in on the worst part. Portion. I want to go back to the initial thing we were talking about of the Kevin Warren Stadium thing. Did they feed us propaganda with that bullshit design?
They may have.
What the fuck was that?
They're going
Not
to
only
Arlington.
That, it wasn't even like it was the Arlington Heights, the Arlington Park design that we've seen before. They showed us the newer one of the city.
Yeah.
With what the hell was that? And then we've already we're convinced that the McCaskies have their hands all over it, right? So then it's like, were they like, oh, let's show them this so we can get conversation moving or something? I think we were fed propaganda
100%.
During an hour of our leisurely time. I think we're getting involved in some politics.
That's why it was so weird to me, dude.
It was so
weird to me.
So short.
It was one thing to be like, sort of talk about it, or maybe if Kevin was just like, I mean,
there's no reason to bring it up. This is Hard Knocks training camp.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So to bring that up and then show us a design that some graphic design intern created is crazy to me.
You know what's crazy though? It's probably going to benefit us though, because it's going to get talks with it's going to get the Arlington talks to happen.
Yeah.
Even
Good
faster.
Morning Football tomorrow morning.
Yeah. It's going I think we can all agree that the Chicago plan was basically to show their hand to force the hand of Arlington Heights, because the issue is the taxes over there. Right. So you don't buy that many acres.
Oh my
destroy
God.
it.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
And then not go there.
Got me. I can't.
That Hogue tweeted the
lack of profanity, which it doesn't bother me. It's respect for the McCaskey. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being a Scrooge today. Like an F-bomb's disrespectful. It's football.
Bro, they cuss. Bro, we all fucking
come
cuss.
on. Ryan Poles, exactly. Like I guess that is interesting.
It could be though. Again, if we're talking about the propaganda, right?
I just want
at the end of the day. At the end of the day, the McCaskies, Kevin Warren, and Ryan Poles have final say on what gets put out. Mm-hmm. Nothing gets put out that they didn't want to get put out. So
you guys are on the other side of the argument based on the comments on Adam's post. Everyone's very happy that they get to watch with their family this year.
I might be a Scrooge.
Because they're
very happy that they get to watch with their kids.
Bro, your kids are probably hearing worse cuss words in school. I don't want to hear it. Have any of you gone through middle school before? It's a fucking shit show.
I'm not saying I need like an F-bomb every screen, right? Or every
scene. Yeah.
Scene. Yeah. Every scene. But give me a couple, let the players joint practice. I would have loved some shit talking between the Bengals and Bears. Yeah. Or Joe Burrow, who he will talk shit. We didn't get any of that, or any Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, he definitely talks shit.
I mean, he literally had to get bleeped out episode 1 on the press conference.
They deprived us of that too. I really, really was looking forward to seeing Joe talk with Caleb, because Burrow was on part part of my take last week or 2 weeks ago, and like he's a really good personality. So I would have really looked forward to like just hearing him talk for a second, because the Josh was good too, and he's the same kind of person.
Yeah. There's a comment here from Rod. Can you bring that up real quick? We did touch on that early on. It was very interesting. I'm just shocked that didn't even get out. So kudos to everybody keeping that in. Maybe they wanted to, debut that or reveal that on Hard Knocks, which was awesome. It just was cool to see some context, and now we have it pushes our agenda
for sure.
Why Caleb struggled first 3 drives
because he couldn't hear shit.
Yeah,
not because of his throwing. His throw, inaccurate throws.
No, that's exactly why he missed Keenan. High
for sure.
Fuck yeah, that helmet. It is cool though. That's the type of insight. Again, all these they went a little deeper. A lot of weird, some weird moments. And shout out to Simone Biles again. I'm just giving a hard time. That it's hard to pick from outside maybe the Kevin Warren, but even then I know it was 30 seconds, but it did feel weird. But that wasn't terrible. So overall, I think this is easily probably going to. I think it's going to be the best episode of this. I'm just looking ahead here, maybe getting ahead of myself. But if there is another episode better than this one,
I doubt it. Right? Caleb's not even playing, so
maybe they're working the phones still, and we get to see more of that. And they do land.
That would be cool.
Pivoting off of Matthew Judon, right? So then maybe they land somebody else, right? Or
if a trade happens, for sure, that would be fun.
Like a Parsons, that'd be fun.
But you know what's crazy though? So on Hogan Johns' interview with Poles, he was basically like they asked him like your thoughts of like Joe Shane and the Giants Hard Knocks, and he's like, yeah, I don't really see how they're going to be able to get other teams to want to do that. He was basically like, I would never.
I noticed that too. Yeah,
never do that. And so I'm like, if a trade happens, Dave, fantastic. Like I hope they would get some part of it, but like how much is Ryan Poles really going to allow them to document?
I don't think we'll ever see Ryan Poles and the Bears on that show.
No, hell no.
I wish. That would be awesome.
I don't even know if we'll see anybody else on that one. That was so in depth. That's why I loved it. It was great.
They have to. Though I think
they forced the hand like they do. Do you think they forced the hand like they did for this?
Like I don't think New York. I don't know if they forced New York to do this one.
No. I think he signed up.
I think they liked it because it made him look great. They did give away, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, some conversations, how they handle things, and their process. But I think some GMs may actually enjoy it.
Maybe someone new.
Some people have
trying to build your reputation. Maybe you think someone new that would build it up.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're going to get somebody because it is they found something in that type of Hard Knocks.
That shit was beautiful.
The off-season Hard Knocks is unique. I think it's they hit a whole different. They hit basically the draft, the nerd, even the average fan get to see all the behind the scenes. They hit everything with that one. That I think is going to be the bread and butter for Hard Knocks. So you get training camp but it's also almost redundant every year. Each team, you kind of know what happens, right? You find a guy, find a cool story, you get the cuts, you get some maybe like today, this episode, you get some really cool nuggets on the sidelines and even behind on the admin side. But I think that will be the bread and butter. And the in-season stuff is good too, I think.
For sure. They're doing that what I don't even remember. AFC North, I think, is doing it. Right? Where they do the in-conference thing.
I thought it was then. Oh, okay. I thought it was
I can't remember
for some reason. I think you're right, Vicky. I think you're right.
AFC North. Yeah, I think it's the AFC North, which is a good division to follow. The Browns, who are going to be good. You got Steelers. You got
Browns are going to be fucking really good. If Deshaun is good.
Yeah. That's a big if, though. He's got to.
I don't know.
His hands off the lotion. But
he has a lot of weapons around him.
Yeah, he does. That defense is dominant, too. It's a top 5.
I'm saying, man. So maybe a top 10 team. Anyways.
But yeah, it should be good. I hope they force hand. I mean, they wwon't pick the Bears because we just did it, but I hope they force the hand.
Bears are good for another 100 years.
Facts. That is true. That is true.
They just paid 100 years of worth, and they didn't even give much.
Yeah,
didn't even cuss.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty
crazy.
Oh, you're good. You're good, Jack. I didn't mean to. I was just looking at stuff. Get back in here. You got to end the show with us. Jack's like, no, I'm done.
He said, I'm out. he said, I did.
He
was like, Hard Knocks. You got your 5 minutes from me. I'm out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we'll end the show here. I think we'll have to rate our show. I don't even know. Let me see here. Let me go through the show ratings real quick. We'll give ours out to end this episode. So again, if you were here, I know a lot of you might be newer when it comes to our show today. We typically don't go this late. Again, we're just recapping every episode. So I think we have about 3 more or at least 2 more episodes. So we'll be here to recap that. We'll be back Thursday to recap the final preseason game. I know the starters aren't playing, so we'll have some fun. We'll look at some of the position battles, of course. But go ahead and leave a like. It's a good way to help help the show grow on YouTube, of course. And I think we are almost at. I think we're 1 subscriber away.
Yeah,
we might be there already. But if just in case, if you guys are watching, hit that subscribe button. It'll push us over that 7,000 subscriber hump, and we are super, super excited. So once we get to 10K subs, we're going to have an insane, massive giveaway. I know we can get there at least by mid-season, so keep it going. Sure. We appreciate the support. Now,
also, wait a second, before you go, if you're new here, please leave a hashtag New Face Gang in the chat. We'll give you a shout out. So if this is your first time, really do appreciate it. Like Dave said, if you want to support us, go ahead and give a like and subscribe. We appreciate that. And if you're an OG here in the chat late on a Tuesday night because you're a dedicated fan like us, please give a hashtag OG in the chat and we'll give you a shout out before the end of the show. Also, if you want to support Dave and I as well, we do have a store, thebfrstore.com. We have hats, shirts, hoodies. Jack's wearing one of our hoodies right now. If you want to support us, you can through there. You want to buy a gift for a friend, you want to rep some fly shit, please do that. The link is also in the description. And then if you want to join our growing community on Patreon, please click the link in the description as well. And we have a Patreon called The BFR Den where we have a free membership. You can join to see what's going on in there. We have 2 tiers, rookie and Hall of Fame Grizzly tier. We have we have private Zoom calls. We have a link to our Discord where David and Jack and I are in, where you can talk to us. We have giveaways in there as well, and many, many more. Madden Leagues, private content, whole bunch of good stuff that we're growing in there. So if you want to join and support us that way, we appreciate it. All the money from both the store and Patreon just go right back into the show so we can keep building this up and making better content and then keep improving the show for y'all. So we really do appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. Well said. I want to go over real quick our episode 1 scores. I had an 80%. Jack had 80%. Ficky, you had 85%. And again, this is based off the Rotten Tomatoes. So certified fresh. And then, of course, rotten. Episode 2 went, I gave a 70%. Jack, you were at 75. Ficky, you were at 78. And then episode 3 is what we're going to go ahead and give our scores to right now. I think they bounced back this episode. Jack, if you just want to throw on your audio, you can. But do you want to go first, Jack, and give us your score? Oh, he's popping back.
Coming in hot. So, like you said, I think we rated episode 2 way too high. Now that we saw this, it was not a 75.
I was at a 70.
I wouldn't even say it's about.
I should have went 60.
Episode 2 sucked. Yeah. It was trash.
It was rotten.
This,
yeah. That's our Bears goggles.
I mean, but it depends on how high you rate it. They'll tell me what your answer is.
You're gonna think I'm trolling, but I'm not.
No, you may
100%, not. 10 out of 10, best episode. There was not a single aspect missed. We got inside looks. We got looks at guys that nobody knows, yet we still focused on the good guys. We got our little cut of Simone that we all need, apparently. We got 99 because of the bullshit propaganda. 99 because of propaganda.
Making more work for me now.
No, my bad. 99. It was just the best episode. And not only that, we got Tory Taylor content. Tory Taylor's the man. Yeah. I bought one jersey this year. It's Tory Taylor. I was so excited to hear from him, and now that we got him, it was the best episode by far. Think back to all the other Hard Knocks. There's no episode better. In the past 5 years that I started watching these, there's been no episode that contained this kind of when I knew Caleb was rushing in for that touchdown, and I was watching that I've never seen that game. I was like, what the hell is going to happen?
We've seen all those plays.
So damn good, dude. Just everything, every part of it. So 99 out of 100, 99%.
Man, how does one follow that? easily by topping it 100 motherfucking percent.
Oh, wow.
There ain't nothing, bro. That
wow.
shit
I must be a Scrooge today.
That was
I must
crack. That shit was crack to a fiend. Let me tell you, that hit. I was ready to take that episode, liquefy it, and inject that shit straight into my veins. I was telling Jack before you hopped on, Dave, in the lobby, I was like, yo, I had to like stop for a second because I'm just sitting here by myself and I was just mad grinning. And I was like, wait a minute. Why am I so happy? I'm just watching Hard Knocks. This isn't even a game. But I was just like locked in. I was so locked in during that whole episode. I have literally no complaints. The only complaint is that next week's episode will not be able to top it, so it's going to fucking suck.
True.
So I'm hitting it with a certified fresh stamp, 100%. Can't top that.
I'm not as high on that. I think the Simone Biles, that's 5%.
Come on, Dave, it's a jacket.
Then you got Kevin White, but it's
Kevin
Green
White.
Bay. It's not just a jacket. Kevin White.
Man, he's already that's how much of a Scrooge is. He's going back to he's comparing a president to Kevin White.
I think that was weird. That was just too weird for me. I think it was overall so good, but I'm not even gonna give him it a 90. I'm going 88%, dude.
What'd you give episode 1?
You know what the funny thing is? I wrote 88% before you guys gave yours. So when Jack went there, I was like, okay, this is Jack. And then I saw Vicky over your top. I'm like, shit, but I'm not gonna change it. I'm going 80. I'm going 88%. It was very, very, very good. I think you can always get a little bit better. I think we are. I think that's coming.
You're taking 12 points away for the stadium thing, the discussion, and Simone.
Simone Biles, 5%, and then I'm going to go and give 5% for the stadium because that was weird. So I'm at 10%, and that 2% was for us for having them wait fucking last week. I'm still pissed off, but I know it's not the Bears, but I'm all right. That's just I'm adding on that. Tax. So yeah, so that's 88%. Would have been 90.
Wait a second. This is a good question though. You really if this is an 88, you're expecting that there will be.
I hope we get one more.
Better. No,
yeah, because I think there will.
So
I think there'll be maybe not just cuts, hard conversations that I know we don't like to see it, but to see something like that or a trade potentially go down between like maybe I don't want Herbert gone, but he's gone, right? And you bring someone else, or you maybe see them eyeing a couple players on other teams that might get cut. You see it come to fruition. Oh, boom, they land them, bring them in. I think there's some more moving parts behind the scenes that could really be interesting because I like the preseason, seeing the mic'd up, but we that's not new, right? We see those during the regular season where they're mic'd up, right? Players are mic'd up all the time. It's not just Hard Knocks that does that. Cool, the cinematic part, the voiceover, electric, sick, hard to top. Actually, it's not. It's the best of the best. But I think that there are a couple more, especially if we have 2 or 3 more episodes. I think we're going to see a little bit more. Hopefully, that's more in depth. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I just think it's going to be a little better.
If it's 5 episodes, you have 1 episode to top it because typically in all the Hard Knocks, the last episode is never the best because they have to close things up. And it's the shortest one too, typically.
Oh,
so if it's 5 episodes, you have till next episode. Yeah. I'm just putting it out there. It doesn't mean it can't happen. That'd be great. I hope you're right. I hope there's one I have to come back next week and be like, oh my gosh, my last score was dog shit. Right. Well, true. I could equal.
You can have to you go back to back.
That's strategy.
You can go back to back.
I know I could go better, but you're stuck.
That's I'm stuck. That's fine though. I have.
You're gonna be disappointed unless you go back to back.
Facts. But
you're gonna give us plenty of gear. You know it's coming. The show was a solid 90. Thank you, Daryl.
I mean, 90 is good too. It's the either way. It was the best. It's the best one yet.
I will say it's very out of touch. The Simone thing, because like if you live in Green Bay, how long was he there? A few years.
It's intentional.
It wasn't just 1, 2.
It's intentional.
Right. I think he was there for
2.
Like
go like when you're on the Packers with the Packers, like the Bears.
He knows.
It goes to show you because she's diplomatic. She is smart. She's intelligent. She's representing the United States in Paris. She's dominating, most electric Olympic athlete ever. And you're telling me it's intentional.
I don't think she cares. I think it's more of not like,
so?
oh, let me piss off Bears fans. It's more like I'm Simone.
Then
Biles.
that's almost like we need to do better. Not even us. They need to do better at educating the rivalry between Green Bay. We don't fucking like Green Bay. Like that is it.
She
is
had to know though.
I think
know, going on a Vicky's thing, it was just like her supporting. John.
Yeah, she even took a jab at Green Bay, saying like not having to be there anymore. Remember a couple months ago when they signed during free agency. So why is if you hate Green Bay or it was nice to get out of there, throw that shit out, burn it.
Burn it.
I agree. I agree.
You're not. I understand Jonathan's on there, but
you're not burning it.
98. Take another point off. I don't. Yeah, I agree.
You guys are crazy.
98 now.
Burning it.
Update it.
That's wild.
God.
I would burn it. Burn it.
You would burn it. That's
Mrs. Juszczyk, it has no problem right now during the offseason to print out another jacket for this woman.
Print? You think that's how that's working too? You guys.
I don't think it's on your printer in your office, Vicky. I'm just saying like it's going to be on some printer, and so she needs to just make a new one, put a little C on there, and call it a day. It was bad taste. It was very bad taste. First game of him as a Bear in Chicago.
Look, I'm not a fan of the Packers either, obviously, but like I saw that and I was like, oh,
it's like
Simone Biles.
Whatever. Like, what if Caleb? Because I mean, he likes Aaron, right? He likes Aaron Rodgers. Just repping Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers number 12 jersey. Like that would be crazy. Yeah. And I understand this is your quarterback, but Simone is.
If Caleb did that and then scored 3 touchdowns and won the game, I wouldn't give a shit.
You are such a liar.
I would give a fucking shit.
I
would be excited. Let's get the win, but I would borderline like.
Here's a hypothetical.
Do we trade him if he doesn't correct this?
Here's a hypothetical.
Or apologize.
Every game, Caleb wins because of Caleb, right? The Bears win because of Caleb, but it's only because he wears an Aaron Rodgers jersey. Every time he takes it off, we lose.
Take it off, lose.
That's crazy.
You're out of your mind.
I've enjoyed losing for a very long time.
You
are psychotic.
Trade him, get 4 or 5 picks. We're going to go find another generational prospect.
You are putting a rivalry over wins. This team has not won.
Dude, you're out of your mind.
And I will continue to be. I will continue to lose.
Results.
Trade Caleb. Trade him if he's going
to
do that. Trade him for 5 first-round picks. We're going to find somebody.
Get him out of here. Dude,
I'm a little bit older than you, so I got to see the team like successful for a couple years.
I hate that card.
I know what that feels like. You guys don't have that taste.
When Bears fans that are older than us pull that, and you're not even that much older than us, maybe 4 years.
It doesn't work. I've witnessed it. Dude, if you had a house party, Ficky, you had a house party, you invite some people from work, and some guy shows up in a suit, and it's just like you, like with a clown face all over a suit, you'd be like, the fuck, dude? That's what she did to us.
Actually, I would laugh because I'd be like,
no, you would not. And it's
ballsy.
No, you would not. You'd be like, dude, what the fuck are you trying to do right now?
Well, do I know him? Is he a good time? Did he brief free liquor?
No, he's a bad time. He's a bad time because he hates you. Dude, all I'm saying is like
disrespected you in your house
and disrespected them.
No, but look, here's the difference. The difference is Caleb is winning games, so I'm happy. It's a result. I care about the results. If the
Simone's not winning games, it doesn't matter. Jonathan Brooks or Owens isn't doing anything.
I'm not talking about Simone's. I'm talking about the hypothetical. You guys said
talk about Simone here. This is the problem. Is Simone?
No,
Jonathan Brooks isn't like her saving grace.
Owens, not Brooks. But I get you on that. I'm not so much disagreeing with that. I was talking about the hypothetical. If this man won Super Bowls and low key he was wearing an Aaron Rodgers jersey underneath the Bears jersey every game, I don't give a shit. You got me something I've never seen. Hell yeah, underneath the jersey.
That's even worse. I thought it was just pregame.
No, it's underneath that. Just balling out.
Oh, now it's all right. We're gonna end on that. I think he's lost his mind.
He's sick. He's sick.
Yeah, that is some sick shit.
You need football, man. You need it back.
Yeah, I definitely do. I will not argue that second statement.
Score a game-winning touchdown, and
it must be from whatever I inject.
Literally, like
my house. My house. Can you fucking imagine that?
That's crazy.
I don't know.
You just do it after winning a Super Bowl. That's when you do it. People don't even know you're wearing it all season. You fucking do a last second drive to win it. Bears go crazy.
I guess I would prefer that because then it would just wouldn't be as like I would get that.
No, I am not, bro.
What are you on right now?
I'm on the Hard Knocks. Whatever that drug I put in my veins from Hard Knocks, that's what's running through my system right now. I got Compound V in me right now, bro. Going crazy.
Good show, the boys. Hey, well, anyways, we're gonna end it here. We'll be back here in about less than 48 hours to go ahead and recap the preseason game. It's nice to see Stretch Perez.
Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Yes,
top tier over here.
Absolutely. But hey, we appreciate y'all. We'll be back Thursday, like I just mentioned. Again, leave a like if you can. We appreciate the support. I believe we're over 7,000 subs. If not, go ahead and subscribe if you want to stick around for the season, which is about 18 days away from week 1. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. So we'll see you then on Thursday night.
Peace.